When I was a youngin', some of my favorite video games were the Star Wars Rogue Squadron series. I loved flying through these missions, unlocking many exceptional starfighters, exploring the Star Wars universe, and of course, using cheats. These games not only gifted me with some incredible gameplay experiences, but also opened the door for the Star Wars extended universe. In fact, back when Star Wars Rogue One was announced, I got super excited thinking that it would be about Rogue Squadron. My disappointment was immeasurable and my day was ruined. So I've decided to take a trip down memory lane and review all 3 Star Wars Rogue Squadron games. So, all wings report in, lock S-foils in attack position, and let's take on the Empire. So, the first Rogue Squadron was released for both PC and Nintendo 64 in 1998. Interestingly, Rogue Squadron was directly inspired by the Snowspeeder mission in Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, which was released the year prior, and also inspired Star Wars Battle for Naboo 2 years later. This game will have you flying individual missions as the titular Rogue Squadron. As Commander Luke Skywalker, or Wedge Antilles in some missions, your squadron will go from protecting homesteads on Tatooine from probe droids, to breaking prisoners out of the spice mines on Kessel, to destroying Imperial canisters of Tabana gas, I almost said Cabana gas right there, on the Cloud City of Talaran. Now, interestingly, while this game does more or less follow the canon of the first 3 Star Wars films, the plot is almost entirely unique. Throughout the 4 chapters, you'll start off simply escorting supply runs and saving downed transport ships. Over time, you'll meet an Imperial defector and perform raids on Imperial supply bases, all culminating in an epic showdown with a nefarious Moff and the overwhelming World Devastators. The gameplay is actually pretty darn smooth for a 22-year-old game. Each fighter has its own distinct feel while piloting, and they all have their own unique strengths and weaknesses. X-Wings are the most balanced of the group and can lock their S-foils to move more quickly. A-Wings are very fast and nimble, but have much less shielding. Y-Wings are incredibly slow, but are heavily shielded with bombing capabilities. The V-Wings are darn near broken with how fast they are, combined with cluster bombs and rapid-fire abilities. And the Snowspeeders only exist to take down AT-ATs. Though they are very good at that. Throughout each mission, your fellow rogues will fly support and attempt to take out enemy fighters and ground forces. Thankfully, they aren't completely useless in this game. That would be the sequel. Looking at the graphics, well, they look exactly like a game from 1998. I'm playing this game on Steam for this video, and I think the rendering is actually worse than on N64. That being said, the draw distances aren't exactly spectacular. Even worse, there are some levels where it is so hard to tell where you're going because everything looks near identical. However, I will say that these levels create some fantastic worlds and really gives the feeling of a living universe. When I was preventing the bombing of Chandrilla, I felt a sense of dread as the civilian buildings exploded from the TIE bombers. When assisting General Riken flee from Corellia, I could see a naval invasion take place on the shoreline. Now, my priority was the walkers, but I could absolutely assist the troops on the ground if I wanted to. Rogue Squadron, while definitely a game that shows its age, was one of the best games I had played as a kid. In fact, I remember being 9 years old and my mom saw that this game was rated T for teen. I managed to convince her to let me keep it by using the excuse of, "Oh, it's just rated T because it's really hard." I am a horrible liar, I have no clue how I pulled that off. But most importantly, this game largely opened the door for my love of Star Wars and piqued my interest in other Star Wars video games, some of which are the greatest games I've ever played. So, if you're interested in Star Wars Rogue Squadron, it can be found on the Nintendo 64, Steam, GOG, and Origin. Thanks for watching Rogue Group, but I'm not done yet. Join me in my next episode as I look at one of my favorite video games of all time, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader. May the Force be with you.